Now with the split stance hold, I find this is a very useful tool to build leg strength and tolerance before going into the split jerk position. You can progress with a bit of load here, which is also really awesome, and it's not a very high skill movement. You can kind of get into the position quite easily, load it up quite easily, and this will teach you the proper split jerk technique. I'll show you how to do this. I'll go through the mistakes and how this is really good in teaching that. So you can do it without lifting straps. I'll show you what it looks like in a little bit with lifting straps, but all you need to do is go into a split stance position. So what I want to see for my split jerk or my split stance is this front shin is vertical, okay, not too far forward or too far back, just straight up and down, and I want that back leg to be straight down and slightly back. So if I was to do it on this side, kind of straight down, slightly back, that's where I want to be on the ball of the back foot. This is vertical. Now, with a split jerk, we only really ever do it to one side. So when I do my clean and jerks, for me personally, I always go left foot out first, right foot back. But a lot of people can do right foot, left foot back. It depends on the person. With this exercise, I do both legs, just to make sure I'm strengthening through both. But when we get later on into the course, I'll just get you to choose one side. So if you are just doing split jerks, for example, later on, you'll just do it to the one side. If you want to practice both, you can, but when I'm in competition, I always go to my left foot forward, my right foot back. Now, go into your split stance position, holding onto the barbell, lifting off the ground, and then just holding here. So you might hold for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it's kind of written down, can be up to you. This is a great way to build leg strength and to build a bit of awareness in where you should be for your split jerk. With my arms, I'm just letting them hang loose, just focusing on my breathing and just holding this position. I don't want to be too extended. I don't want to arch my back too much, or I don't need to round too much either. Just want to be in a neutral position, trying to lengthen through my spine and then keeping my arms relaxed. One side for 30 seconds, for example, other side, same thing, grab it and hold it there. The way it looks from a front on angle, make sure you're in like a bit of a train track setup. So imagine your feet are on train tracks like this, okay, rather than there. We want more train tracks like that when you are doing the movement. That's the overall basics of how to do it. In the next part, I'll go through some of the nuances and why this is really good to do and some of the mistakes people can make. Now, with common mistakes, I'll say the split jerk in general, and then why this is really good, is that when people do their split jerk, they usually do this. They have the bar, they dip down, drive, and they go forward like that. So the back leg is straight and the knee is too far over the toe. They split jerk like this and they fall forward. What we need it to be is a controlled dip, drive, and just go straight down. So I want to see a vertical shin and then a bit more bend in the back knee rather than it being like this. I would say it's the most common mistake in split jerks is the back leg is straight and the front knee is too far bent. More like that. We don't want that. We want more of a bent back knee and more of a vertical shin to catch it underneath the bar. This is going to help us absorb a bit more force and help you stay more upright. So if you're more here, you're less likely to lose the bar forward. Now, the reason why the split stance hold is so good is you're able to add load and learn that part in isolation first. So again, if I grab the bar out and I go here, it's very easy to see if I'm like that. If the back leg's too straight and my knees is too far bent, where it's a bit easier to then correct, bend the back knee a bit more, bring that front shin further back and hold here. So I like this exercise with the ease of being able to correct it and to work on this before you go later on into the movement. A lot of people, when I teach the split jerk to start with, they just do that automatically, too straight through here, too forward. So this is a great way of kind of helping you avoid the mistake later on or making it less likely for it to happen. So that's the reason why I like this movement a lot, is because it can help you have the ideal leg position before you get into the split jerk. Now, a really good thing that you should try to use is straps. I know I talked about these in the other ones with your pulls. But I recommend you should also use these for your hold. Just so your grip isn't the limiting factor, more your leg fatigue is the limiting factor. I'll show you this way. So remember, with your straps, you can use other variations, but for these ones, I like it pointing towards the thumb. I wrap it underneath and grab it over the top. I don't do it over the top and then try to loop it like that. Under, grab it, loop, and then coil it around. Same thing. Make sure you get your leg over first, then coil it like this, and then you're locked in. You don't have to worry about your grip being the limiting factor. Go into your split stance hold. Remember, train track position. We don't want a tight rope position. That's another mistake people make, is they're too narrow with their split jerk. You should be a little bit wider. This is another great reason why this exercise is so good, is because it shows you that you should have a bit more of a wider base when you move into your split, and you can get stronger here. So to overview this part, spend some time here. The holds are going to be really good for your leg strength. It's going to teach you the ideal position. We don't want to go too far bent and too straight with the back leg. There can happen where you can be too far the other way, too much in this leg and knee further back. Be aware of that. But 90% of the time, people are more here. So this teaches you to be balanced. Ideally, you want to be balanced between the two legs. We want to be wide enough for our split jerk, not too narrow. So this again helps teach you that. And I'd recommend to use straps just to make it a bit easier for your hands to hold on to. And plus this allows you to overload it a little bit more rather than you being limited by your grip strength. Yeah, really great exercise, and this will help you a lot with your split jerk.